And welcome to Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. My name's John, and along with me, as always, is Shawn. Shawn, how are you this evening?
I'm good, John. How are you?
Good. Excited for the NFL schedule release. They've announced some of the games, but they have definitely announced all of Week 1. So we could talk about that. The rest will be announced at 8 o'clock on NFL Network and ESPN. So for the 1 o'clock or for the Week 1 games, you have been calling Bills Rams to open up the season for about a month now. At
Yeah.
least a month, and the NFL announced that today. That's a Super Bowl preview in my eyes because I have those teams ranked 1 and 2 in my NFL rankings.
Yeah, it's pretty safe to say that the Rams are the NFC team. Obviously, they are the defending champs, but there's a lot of teams that could sneak into the picture. I mean, Rodgers is going to have the Detroit Lions could be a sneaky team. The NFC East is pretty much up for grabs between the Eagles and Cowboys. The Commanders and Giants, I think, are pretty much contending just for that third place spot. The NFC South is the only team that's really going to be able to contend is going to be the Bucks, obviously, because I just don't think the Saints were. Well, you can't say the Saints won't, but they're really on that weird level where we're not really sure what they're going to have either. And then the same with the Panthers and the Falcons. You're just unsure what you're going to have. And then obviously the NFC West is the stacked division where the Niners, the Cardinals, and obviously the Rams are all teams that could easily win that division.
Yeah, and looking. Oh, let me put it up on the screen here. Oops, sorry. Share screen. Here's the Week 1 games. I don't know if the times have been announced for all these games.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, they have. So we definitely know Bills Rams is Thursday night. Then I believe the Sunday night game is Tampa
Sunday
Bay and
night
Dallas.
is Tampa Bay, Dallas.
Tampa Bay and Dallas. Oh, there it is down there, further down the list. But yeah, that's and then Broncos Seahawks Monday night game.
They
I,
go.
I understand getting that game done early in the season because I actually think that's a better matchup earlier in the year than it would be later in the season.
Yeah. First, the first game out for 1 o'clock. Well, obviously the Thursday night football game is the Bills Rams, but then the 1 o'clock games go Saints and Falcons. Then it goes Browns at the Panthers, Niners at the Bears, Eagles at the Lions. The Steelers go up against the Cincinnati Bengals. Colts at the Texans, Ravens at the Jets, and then you got the Patriots at Dolphins, Jaguars play at Washington. That's a 1 o'clock games, and then the 4:30s are Chiefs at Cardinals, which is going to be a good matchup. Raiders at Chargers again. The Packers go into Minnesota, and then you got the Giants playing at Tennessee, which two teams that were really again aren't sure what's going to come out about them just because of their off seasons. And then obviously Sunday Night Football is the Bucks and Cowboys, and the same with Monday night.
So before we take a little bit deeper dive into it, Overlord says, "Yo, sorry can't stay, but wanted to come by and say good luck with the stream. Anyone watching better follow and subscribe. You won't regret it." Yeah, Overlord, thank you. Thanks for stopping by. I
Thanks.
understand. Rye Cannon is here as well. Yo, Rye, what's up, buddy? I know Rye's a Seahawks fan. Overlord, I do have a list here of what everybody is. Overlord is a Cowboys fan. Shawn, you're a Vikings fan, and of course, I got my Jet gear on. But yeah, even before we take a deep dive, I'm a little Ravens Jets Week 1. I was a little concerned, but actually, I expect the Jets to be competitive this year, maybe 7-8 wins. So I actually like playing the Ravens a little earlier than later in the season.
Yeah.
I mean, if somehow they can steal a couple wins, they might be able to be in the wild card hunt. And having to play a team like Jacksonville a couple days before Christmas is better than playing Baltimore a couple days before Christmas.
Yeah, I actually saw rumors that I think the only primetime game the Jets got this year was actually the Jaguars at the Jets.
Yeah, and that's December 22nd, I believe. I mean, we'll get confirmation here at the top of the hour, but
Yeah, I believe it's a Thursday night football game, which to me, I feel like every team should get one primetime game throughout the year. Obviously, it should be pretty fair. Everyone gets one. And then from there, I feel like it should come down to your matchups, where it's like set week 1 through 4 or something. And then, like, once week 5 comes around, like, I don't want to watch maybe, like, say, last year, like, we'll use for instance, like a injured Russell Wilson's team. I don't want to see them on primetime TV versus an injured Steelers team without Ben Roethlisberger. Like, I don't want to watch a Monday night. I think it was a Monday night football game last year. It's like I'm going to fall asleep before it's even halftime watching backups. So I feel like they should have more control of, like, kind of that flex game where, I mean, the only games I would consider saying flexing would maybe be like a 4:30 game into an 8:30 game or whatever, like one of them. But don't move like a 1 o'clock game to an 8 o'clock game. So um, I just think that they should try to have more flex.
yeah, we'll see. And a couple things, everybody that's watching, thank you for watching. We do have the NFL schedule release coming up at the top of the hour, but a couple things going on. When we right now we're at 3 subscribers. When we reach 10, let me just grab it here. When we reach 10 subscribers, I will give away one of the subscribers. I will give away this Justin Fields XR Blue rookie card. It's numbered out of
Mm-hmm.
199, valued at about $25 on eBay. So we'll give that away to one of the subs. But then also today we got, and I'm not sure how, I got to find a website to set this up on, but we started printing Pure Adrenaline merch. Got the first set
Print the
of hats
merch.
in. Got the first set of hats in, so I'm very excited about that. Shawn, I know you are going to a charity softball game here at the beginning of June.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping to get to use some of these hats to give to some of the players. Who are some of the players that have been named in this softball game?
Well, it's ran by Devonta Smith, but they announced today pretty much all the guys. It's Devonta Smith is one captain, and the other captain is Micah Parsons from the Cowboys. Um, so on Devonta Smith's team, you have Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, we have Miles Sanders, Eagles legend Barrett Brooks, LaShawn McCoy. You have Darius Slay, Brandon Graham, Dallas Goedert, Nakobe Dean, their rookie linebacker. Um, a rapper called Jada Kiss is coming. Najee Harris, and then Patrick Surtain from the Broncos. And then you have on Micah Parsons' team is Jalen Waddle, Cameron Dantzler from the Vikings, Deontay Johnson, Mac Wilson from the Patriots, Terrell Edmonds, Ted Ginn Jr., the retired wide receiver. From your New York Jets, you have Elijah Moore, the Cleveland Browns cornerback Greg Newsome, and then from your Jets, Michael Perrine, the running back, and Justin Hardy, and then
Nice.
Titans safety Shaheem Carter, and Jets defensive end Vinny Curry is also there. And then from there, they said that pretty much anyone could show up. They're having a home run derby game, obviously, as you can see there,
Yeah.
and then the softball game itself. So me and 2 other people are going, and then we got front row tickets and gonna enjoy the game and
Nice.
enjoy seeing people. Obviously, the Eagles have their training camp here and where we live, but to be able to see players that like from Denver, Minnesota, the Jets, you have the Browns, the Steelers, and then even the legends that are coming in like Ted Ginn, Barrett Brooks, and LaShawn McCoy. Just to see people like that, you don't get to see them every single day. So as soon as they announced it, I was like, all right, maybe I'll go. And then they started announcing more and more players. And then today they announced like Micah Parsons and all that. And obviously he went to Penn State, but to see something like that in person is obviously it's like watching a mini football game, but on the baseball field.
Oh, and here it is. You were reading off the names. I didn't realize the website had all that information. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. Let's look here. Yeah, like you said, home run derby at 2, softball game at 3, so that'll be cool. Hopefully I can get you those hats, even just to give to the players. Don't know if they'll actually wear them or just toss them, but you never know, bud. Give a guy a hat. He posts something on his social media wearing a hat or something. You never know what can happen, but
Yeah, I actually have been. I ordered. I actually got a trading card of Devonta Smith. It's numbered. I think it was like it's 22 out of like 50 made. I'm actually middle of bidding on one. It's a Devonta Smith and a Jalen Waddle card that says future contenders for awards and all that. And I was like, it'd be cool to get both those players to sign that because it's something that you're not going to be able to get very often, obviously. But most of the players that have been announced obviously played with Devonta Smith at Alabama. So me and the other guys that are going, we've kind of called it the Alabama softball recruit game. So it's been like kind of a joke, inside joke we've had that's just going to be like a mini recruit game. Maybe they went to like the Alabama spring game and they're like, oh, let's have a softball game. And
yeah.
Now they brought everybody in because a lot of the players, like I said, have either attended Penn State that are playing that play in Pennsylvania teams or attended Alabama. So it was like those 3 crucial places.
Yeah, so that's cool. Everybody that's in the chat, thank you for being here. Make sure you at least hit that follow button, and thank you for those that have gone above and beyond and become subscribers as well. But we have partnered up with W Energy, as you can see on the bottom of the screen there. Over in the chat, I do have a link for them. They're saying, the cuts the jitters, cuts the crash, no BS, clean energy. I actually ordered their Granny Smith apple flavor. So I have some of that coming as well. But yeah, check them out. Use promo code PAFS10 for 10% off at checkout. So yeah. And we also have Swift grips as well. I'll post the link in the chat there as well. If you need some new grips for your Xbox or PlayStation controllers, use PAFS10 over there to save a little bit on any orders over there as well. I thank you to those companies for reaching out and teaming up with us. So some more in the talks as well. So this is a cool aspect of becoming an affiliate on Twitch. You do have companies that reach out to you and want to partner with you.
Yeah, and I was talking to you before we went live. I said I actually reached out to a social media page that does fantasy projections and all that, asking if they would actually want to jump on board and everything. So just to see maybe like something like that, even if they would just be like, yeah, we'll maybe do something short term or just to have them maybe even share something would be cool. So just as anything that can help at this point. I mean, to see their fantasy projections, because I had mentioned to them how we do our own fantasy projections. So maybe it'd be cool to see like if they ask like how we do ours and all that, and just to learn the information how they do theirs maybe.
Yeah, so thanks for reaching out to them. We'll see what they say over there. They've been around a long time. So yeah, here's the promo for Swift grips. Stop the slips with new grips. Order for your Xbox or PlayStation controllers. So I ordered the green ones for my PlayStation controller. I'm still waiting for them for those to show up, so I'll show those. And maybe I'll order some of the stuff over there. They do have a giveaway box, so maybe we'll use that as some of our giveaways as well.
Yeah, I saw that they have it depending on what kind of merch you would want. They have it for T-shirts, sweatshirts, obviously Swift grips come with them, and then just different variety of things. So, but me and you have talked, and we said that we mentioned today about when we do the fantasy football league. We said we said about prizes, and we actually came up with partial prizes for that. So once we start getting more people to join, we'll be able to release more prize information, but definitely going to have some good prizes for the people that join. And then obviously the people that sub in, we're going to be releasing a lot more stuff for people to win, possibly just in doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do have, like I said, I do have the hats. I'll figure out a way to either. Well, I'll definitely do some giveaways with the hats. We'll only be able to ship to the U.S. I know we have some of the guys that are here. One's in Germany, one's in Canada. I'm not sure how much it would cost to ship internationally. But yeah.
I think it would depend on weight, but we could definitely try to figure something out. Definitely to make sure people, if they want the merch, to print the merch,
Yeah,
get the merch.
Yep. So we got that. That came today. I was so excited when that box showed up here with UPS. So that's cool. What else? Let me go back to the week 1 games and put that up on the screen. I'm in the wrong screen here. What fantasy wise? Of course, Bills Rams and the Sunday night game, Bucks Cowboys. But what other games, maybe fantasy wise, jump out to you? I can see at least one right off the bat here in the Sunday games. But yeah, what are you thinking?
I definitely think the Steelers Bengals, just because the Steelers defense has been the number one defensive sacks for the past 5 years. They've either been number one or tied to be number one. And then obviously the Bengals offense, it's high powered. But then you got the Jaguars and the Commanders. To maybe have one of their defenses for that game could honestly be crucial, just because they're not going to probably score very much, and you might get a lot of turnovers because it's Carson Wentz and it's Trevor Lawrence. So, and they're both learning a new offense, but obviously we're in May. That's not till September. You still got 3 weeks, I think, of preseason, all of OTAs and training camps. So obviously a lot of injuries can happen between now and then. And obviously the free agency obviously has been slow, but once that picks back up, that'll be huge.
Yeah, the game that jumps out to me is Raiders Chargers here in week 1, division matchup. Two teams that'll definitely be fighting for that division. That division's wide open. What do you think?
I wouldn't say wide open. I honestly think it's going to come down to probably the Chargers and the Raiders. So this matchup right now in week 1 could honestly be the key piece because of the tiebreaker scenario. So that might be crucial just on winning that kind of game. But I think honestly the Chiefs and the Broncos are going to be close, but I could see all 4 of these teams honestly making the playoffs. My only concern with the Chiefs is what kind of offense do they have replacing Tyreek Hill, who is clearly obviously a 10-plus touchdown kind of guy, 50, 60-yard games at one time, big plays. So what is that kind of effect on him and the fantasy numbers with Patrick Mahomes now? How does that work with him? And with Tyreek Hill, I actually saw a video of Tua throwing the ball to Tyreek in practice, and it's kind of weird seeing it, but it was also one of those not great passes for him to be throwing the ball 40 yards down the field, and he underthrew Tyreek. So could you see a lot of that happening this year? Honestly, probably, but once the game's on the line, a lot of things can happen.
Yeah, and once again, thank you everybody for showing up tonight. We do have the schedule release at 8:00, but over in the chat, I did just put the link for our free Yahoo Fantasy League. So, like Shawn said, we'll announce once we start filling up. There's only 4 teams signed up at the moment. But once we start filling that up, we'll start announcing what the prizes are for that as well. Yeah, so I'm excited. I tried to stay away from social media today because the teams were given their schedules on Tuesday, and little by little have been releasing some of the games. So I actually didn't want to know before watching.
Yeah, now with the week one matchup too, with the Bears versus the Niners, is that two quarterbacks, the first two or the second and third quarterback drafted from last year playing each other for the first time?
Right. Well,
Or
I saw a report this week that the 49ers are not happy with Lance.
I saw that as well. I just think because I don't think he wants to train like with the team, and I don't think he wants to really like work with the team. And being a second year guy, you kind of gotta be there. I mean, you can't not attend stuff. I mean, you would think him being a rookie, he only really started one game last year. Why not be playing with the rookies in OTA? Learn your new players. I mean, I'm the fact that Jimmy G is still on the 49ers makes me kind of question, is Jimmy G a 49er again this year after all? And does he kind of go and say, here I am in preseason, I'm throwing for this much and I could do all this. Do I win my starting job back again? I mean, they pretty much, I think last year we broke the news saying he wasn't going to return. And I think what was October, I said something.
Yeah.
And then next, the 49ers go like 11-2 to end the season and almost make the Super Bowl. Can you imagine if they didn't throw that last drive interception turnover, what they could have been? I mean, could they have been able to beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl?
So let's. Oh, I don't have it up on the screen here. I thought maybe. Let's keep looking at. Let's put that back up. I like this picture here. It says Broncos Russell Wilson facing the Seahawks in Week 1. Just hard to believe. Yeah. What do you think of that, Shawn? What do you think of Wilson in Denver?
I think it's gonna be good. I just think that the Week 1 matchup where you got. I've never been a fan of like making the hype like Week 1, making a guy go back to a team like he played for, kind of like Tom Brady if he would have went back to New England Week 1, but they made it for like a Week 4 Sunday Night Football. I just don't. I'm not a fan of doing that just because I get why they're doing it. It's like I guess a big ticket seller. Like here's the big game Monday Night Football, but I'm not a fan for the fact that he obviously left for purposes that he wanted to leave. Why make him right away have to go back there right away kind of thing? Like he's probably moved his family, moved everyone out of there to Denver, and then now you're kind of like, all right, you're going back to Seattle right off the bat. I mean, I probably would have been better off having a game maybe like a Week 6, Week 7, like let both teams kind of see what they have, and then it could have been one of those like Seattle could have maybe pounced all over Denver and been like, well, look what you're missing out. And then Denver also could have been like, here's a routing, here's what you're missing on. So it could have been one of those scenarios where Week 1, you're kind of like, one team's going to be 1-0, or one team could be 0-1, or it could be 0-1.
Yeah, so let's keep looking through the news here to see. Nick Benito signed with the Broncos. A lot of signings coming down the line here with the draft picks. The Giants are expected to have some veteran free agent tryouts participating in rookie camp.
Did you also see the news where Richard Sherman is most likely retiring from football and he's going to be a Thursday Night Football analysis?
I had heard something about that. I heard Tony Gonzalez is involved somehow too for Thursday night on Amazon.
Yeah, I heard that he could be possibly too. I heard that they might have like a players only kind of booth for the scenarios, but obviously a lot can change and a lot could happen. But with Rycan and saying he agrees that both teams develop. Like, what if it's totally different halfway through? Yeah, and that's what my kind of scenario is. Like, I don't like those kind of games. Like, I think it was week like 5 or 6 when Brett Favre left and went to the Vikings, and everyone was like, when he played the Packers for the first time, and everyone was like hyped up for it. And it's like, well, at least then they have something to hype up for. It's like it's the middle of the season, everyone can see what happened, kind of thing. But when you have a hype game week 1, it's kind of like when it's over, what do they really have what do you have to look forward for as a Seattle fan? Like, what other big games are going to come into Seattle? Like, that sort of thing. Like, it could have been a better scenario where having him like week 6, week 7, maybe having him somewhere along that line.
So let's keep looking through the thing here. I want to see from NFL Rumors Twitter feed, the Panthers reportedly are considering a run at Sean Payton in 2023.
Yeah, because he's a free agent as a coach. And my only thing is the Panthers paid a lot for their coach that they got from Baylor at the time. I don't think you can really get out of that contract. And to pay that guy that much for the amount of time they paid him for, I've always said it's dumb when people pay that much for a coach. This is one of those scenarios, a guy that's never coached in the NFL and he paid quadruple what he was worth.
Carolina, what is his name down in Carolina? Carolina Matt Rule.
Yeah. I was like, I can remember the name. I could think of the name, and it's like, yeah, it's gone.
Matt Rule. I want to know what his contract is.
I want to say it was like a 5-year contract, like 100 and some mil, like 115. It felt like.
It was Carolina owner David Tepper hired Matt Rule on a 7-year, $62 million contract in addition to providing the $6 million to buy out Rule's contract from Baylor.
Yeah, so they paid it was like 120 million. I think they paid a total.
So 9, and that was after the 2019 season.
Yeah, so he's under contract till 2025.
Wow. So
the only thing I could think of is they move him maybe move him to offense or defense from a head coach, but that's paying a lot for an assistant or an offense or defensive coordinator. You're really overpaying.
Right, because they're averaging 7 years, $62 million. That's almost $9 million a year.
Yeah, for an offense or defensive coordinator, or if you fire them and you eat that whole contract, that's a lot. But watching NFL Network, I guess this week a lot of OTAs begin on Monday. So between Monday and Friday, a lot of OTAs begin. So, and then if they don't start that week, then it's the following week that they start. But it's cool to see football is coming back finally.
Yeah, so I don't have it up on the screen, but let me get NFL.com so I can put the actual, because my guess would be the actual website will probably load the schedule right away.
Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm watching NFL Network now, obviously, as we're doing the stream, and obviously as games get released, right now they're talking about first off the bat week 1, and then obviously from there they're probably going to announce week 2, and then maybe like the special games that they have, like where players come back.
Yeah, I'm going to actually put it on the TV. Hold on 1 second.
Yep.
Oh, you know what, Shawn? Let me put it up on the screen. Everybody that's watching, why don't you tell them a little bit about DraftKings?
Yeah, obviously we're gonna do that throughout the season, and we're gonna have it set up for the big games: Thursdays, Mondays, Sunday Night Football, and then throughout the games, Sunday all day, and then we'll have it set up for special games, Thanksgiving, Christmas Day. We'll do select games like international games. We'll have one set up for just that, for people just to play those games. It's not something you have to play all year long, but it's something that people can play if they want to play week 1, they don't want to play until week 3, or they want to play this one lineup or this lineup. So we're going to set it up for people to be able to join and just be able to have fun with it and just to play along with it.
All right. Sorry about that. Oh, man, I got rid of everything. We don't want that. So, yeah, I have it up on the screen. I got that up on the screen. Have they announced any of the Thanksgiving Day games? I mean, we know at least Detroit and Dallas play.
No, they haven't. They haven't said anything about that. I'm flipping back and forth between that and SportsCenter. SportsCenter just announced that week 3, Packers versus the Buccaneers for, I believe it's Sunday Night Football. I switched over too late and it was changed over. And then week 2 is Chargers at Chiefs for Thursday Night Football.
Right. Oh, that game was announced at the draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Chargers won both the last 2 years playing at Kansas City, so it's crazy to think that they've gone into Kansas City and win. They're here. They just announced the Rams' whole schedule.
The Rams, yeah. NFL Network's talking to
Matt Stafford.
Yeah, and they're putting the schedule across the bottom. Rams are definitely one of the teams to still beat in the NFC. I think it's the Rams, Bucks, and 49ers, maybe.
It's hard to say, but looking at the Rams schedule here, they play 4 straight weeks on a primetime game during the mid end of the year between week 14 and 17. That's crazy to think that a team could play 4 straight primetime games between Thursday, Sunday, Monday night, and then obviously they have Christmas Day mixed in there. So I think that's a Saturday night game. But I mean, do you see any team go undefeated this year?
No. And actually, I wonder if it breaks it down by team here. Team schedules. Let's look at. Oh, that's still showing 2021. I don't want that. I'd have to look at the complete schedule. I don't think a team goes undefeated. What do you think? Do you think? I mean, honestly, just looking at it on paper, the Rams are probably the only team because I think the NFC or the AFC has got a bunch of good teams, and they all have to play each other, so they're all gonna beat each other up.
Yeah, I honestly I think that no one goes undefeated. I don't think anyone even has as close as 2 losses. I think the best win record would end up being 14-3 at most. And I feel like that would have to be maybe like the Bills, maybe. But I think even that might be a far stretch compared to like the games that people got to play as much now.
So let's look at. Oh, they do have it. Do you want to go team by team? NFL.com has it broken down. Where do you want to start?
I guess start at the top. We'll work our way through all of them in order.
Let me put it on the screen. Oops. Rookie amateur hour here.
Jeez, get it together.
So let's look at it says 21 here, but then when you click on it, it actually says 22. So yeah, it is 22 because Baltimore opens with the Jets or going to the Jets.
Now,
like I said, at first I did not like that, but I would definitely with the Jets. I'm hoping 7 to 8 wins and staying in the wild card hunt till late in the year. So with that being said, I would rather play Baltimore early instead of late.
Yeah, and then obviously seeing that opening day for the Jets. Obviously, they're not from New York, but they're still considered a New York team. To play on 9/11, that's big for a team like that for New York. So that's nice to see something like that the NFL gave either the Jets or the Giants, something like that to open the season on that special date for obviously being that it's going to be the 11th year anniversary.
21-year anniversary.
Yeah, 21. Why did I think 11?
I don't know. But then Baltimore. I don't like that. Let's do it let's go week by week. This way we're not focusing on one team here. So like we said, Bills Rams to open the season. We can go through this pretty quick. We kind of touched on it. Saints Falcons. What do you think about the Falcons with Mariota at quarterback?
They could be a contender, but it's hard to say really what they could be just because of the division that they play in. Then you have the Browns going at the Panthers. What do the Browns do with Baker Mayfield yet? That's the kind of question that everyone has, the big question everyone has right now. Then you have first-round quarterbacks playing each other from last year on teams that we're not really sure what could happen throughout their year. Who's the 49ers starter?
Right.
We know Justin Fields is, but who's them? Same with the Panthers. Who's their starting quarterback going to be?
Mm-hmm.
And then same with the Steelers. We keep going to teams that we don't even know who their quarterbacks are. Who you sign Mitchell Trubisky, but then you draft a quarterback early. So, but I think this game kind of is you got the Bengals probably going to win that game convincingly, being at home. I think they have no doubt winning that game. And then the Eagles-Lions, the Lions could start the season off 1-0. When is the last time the Lions started a season off with a 1-0 record? I can't remember.
I wonder if Harold was here. Harold could probably tell you.
He would probably say the first year that they made an NFL team.
But yeah, some of the other matchups. I actually like Colts Texans week 1.
Yeah, so do I.
Patriots Dolphins week 1.
Yeah, the Patriots Dolphins is going to be a good one. You start off with a lot of matchups that are division.
So what else we got? Jaguars Commanders. What do you think of that?
Listen, it's Jack.
When I was born in 1980. Harold, great to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. That's funny.
No, it's the Jaguars and the football team. We don't call them the Commanders because it's just a weird name.
Comrades. What are comrades?
But no, I think that's a good matchup. You have two teams that are really not sure what's going to happen, and then you got the Giants at Tennessee. Those are two teams that are going to have a big year in order to probably keep, one, their quarterbacks, and two, keep a lot of big name players, because if both teams have a bad year, it could be rebuild season for both those teams.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know.
Do you want to guess what year it was that the Lions started the season 1-0?
I am going to say Matthew Stafford's rookie year when they beat the Cleveland Browns.
Close.
Oh.
It was with Matt Stafford in 2011. The Detroit Lions started the season 5-0.
Wow. What did they finish?
They won 5-6 the rest of the yeir.
Oh.
And
so they went 10-6. Did they make the playoffs?
They did, and they lost at the Saints 45-28, and that was Calvin Johnson was the only Pro Bowler on the team.
Mm. So let's keep looking here. Like we said, Raiders, Chiefs, Cardinals. That could be a good week 1 matchup as well. Raiders, Chargers, Packers, Vikings division game, Bucks, Cowboys on Sunday night, and then to me kind of a letdown Monday night opener, week 1, Broncos, Seahawks. That doesn't get me excited.
See, I also think that both Super Bowl teams deserve to have an opening primetime game. The Rams open it up. I feel like the Bengals should finish week 1 with having the primetime game. I feel like both teams kind of like need that, like, you deserve this kind of thing. Just because you're giving the Bengals a 1 o'clock game, they're probably not going to be on even national TV unless you're in the Pennsylvania or Cincinnati area.
Right. Yeah, well, let's look at that. They're the 1 o'clock game, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
and they're on CBS. So Browns and Panthers. You have probably like 2 other games. Yeah, you got Colts, Texans.
Jets, Ravens, Patriots, Dolphins.
Yeah, so you have a lot of games that could possibly be intertwining.
Like you said, CBS 1 o'clock is going to be regional coverage.
Yeah, there's no primetime games. And then we talked earlier.
Chiefs, Cardinals, or Raiders, Chargers is going to be the national game.
I think Chiefs at Cardinals will be probably the national, just because they're the bigger ticket seller, because we've all watched an LA game, and the Raiders are going to out fan base the Chargers. And then for Fox, we already talked earlier, I don't think the Giants and Titans are going to be the game of the week for the Fox. It's definitely going to be the Packers at the Vikings for game of the week, which, being a Vikings fan, it's crucial to go out week 1 and win that, especially when you're going to have Kirk Cousins following it up with a week 2 matchup on national primetime Monday Night Football. So, and we already know he's not a good primetime game, so you can't start the year 0-2.
Yeah, so let's keep looking here. Broncos, Seahawks to end the first week. Let's go to week 2. We'll definitely take a deeper dive at some of these games. We'll look at some of our key matchups for the weeks.
Yep, there's our first prime video game where you get the Chargers at the Chiefs.
And I wonder, I don't know this. I'll have to look into this, because Twitch is associated with Prime.
If we can watch it,
I wonder if we can live stream that.
Might be able to. It might be something you have to look into.
Because you can there's a way, like if we wanted to, I've been looking through the movies to see if there's a good football movie we can live stream. Get the chat hanging out, watching a football movie or something.
If we're not watching The Water Boy, I don't want to watch it with you.
No,
greatest football movie ever.
I said a good football movie.
That's the greatest football movie ever. Remember when Bobby Boucher showed up at the halftime?
Why are alligators so angry? All right, back to football. Back to real football.
But no, going over to Sunday games. Looking at the first 2 games right there, the Ravens and the Jets game.
Right. Oh, wait. No, stop. Stop. Right here, Harold. The replacements agreed. Right there.
Yeah, that is a good movie too. But looking at the first 2 games there with the Ravens game and the Jets game, the Ravens could start the season 0-2, and the Jets could start easily 2-0 this year. Mud Dogs always win the Bourbon Bowl.
Let's see here. What? You said no, the Jets aren't starting off 2-0.
All right, whatever. I called the week 1 game. I'm going to call the Jets starting 2-0.
And I forget, you did call, I forget what game it was last year, the Jet game. I think it was Jets-Titans.
Yeah, I told you the Jets were going to win.
Were winning, right.
Yeah, and you kept saying, no, we're never going to beat the Titans. The Titans just beat the Bengals. They just beat this team. They beat this team. Jets go and roll them.
Yeah, so.
But no.
And this will, week 2, it'll be interesting to see if, man, losing my mind here. The quarterback for the Browns now, if he's suspended.
Shawn Watson.
Yeah, if Watson is suspended, that's going to hurt the Browns.
Yeah, and then even looking at the third game there, Commanders at the Lions. The Lions could start 2-0 even too, playing 2 games like that.
Let's not go crazy here.
All right, whatever.
We don't need Harold going nuts in the chat here with his Lions.
Harold, if the Lions won 2 games, I think Harold would probably celebrate by stone colding 2 beers. And that's just saying 2 wins all year.
Oh, 2 wins all year.
But no, I'm telling you, the Lions are my sleeper team of the year. I said that for many years with the Browns, and the Browns finally went to the playoffs. I'm calling it. The Lions, I think, are the next team that are the sleeper team for sure. But looking at the next 2 matchups, you got 2 matchups where are big games. Colts at Jaguars obviously are huge for them because that division's up in shambles, I guess you could say. You don't really know who's going to do what Matt Ryan does with the Colts, and what Trevor Lawrence does with his whole new coaching staff pretty much in Jacksonville. And then Tom Brady can't beat New Orleans in New Orleans. So I'm calling it Saints win this game.
And I'll have to find the clip. I said that last year.
All right, yeah, you said that last year, and we don't talk about that anymore.
You told me I needed to be drug tested, and the Saints shut him out.
Yeah, we don't talk about that game anymore. I just said that.
But then we got Panthers Giants. That'll be two teams that I think will struggle this year. That it'll be interesting to see there. Patriots going to Pittsburgh. Usually, that's a good matchup, but we don't know how Trubisky will play. I would assume Trubisky is going to be the starter for Pittsburgh. But your thoughts there on those couple of games?
Yeah, and those are the Panthers Giants game is a toss up. Patriots and Steelers. What does Mac Jones learn in a second year? What does Trubisky or whatever starting quarterback learn for the Steelers by week 2? The Rams, I think, roll the Falcons in their back-to-back home games. And then you got Seattle at 49ers. Those are 2 teams where we're not really sure what's going to happen with those teams, what happens all year. And then I think that's a big game right there we're looking at, Bengals at Cowboys. I think that's just a huge game just for the simple fact that could kind of determine what kind of year a team could have, because both teams play a tough week 1 matchup and both tough week 2. If you start a year out 0-2, that could be big for like the Cowboys' sake, because in a division that was as close as it can be this year, you can't have that. And with the Bengals, I can't say their division's tough or close, but is the Bengals Super Bowl run last year a fluke? That's the big question.
Yeah, that is a big question. Baltimore, it'll be interesting to see how good Baltimore is this year. I worry about their receivers right now, but they are more of a running team and that they have a great defense. So,
yeah, I agree with that one. And jumping down at the rest of the 4 o'clock games, you got Texans at Broncos. Again, we're not really sure what team could be. It's kind of hard to say, but I think the Broncos should be able to win this game for sure because it's their home opener. They're going to go out and they're going to want to show up, especially with Russell Wilson. And then a big matchup for the 4:30 game there at CBS as well. Cardinals at Raiders. The Raiders start out with a really hard schedule to start the year, what it seems like from looking at their schedule of games. And with their division, again, it's kind of like the Bengals-Cowboys. You don't want to start out winless to start the year, because if you just went and spent all this money in the offseason that the Raiders have spent, I don't think you can go out starting 0-2 and be happy.
Agreed. And then Sunday night, I don't like this matchup. I don't like the Bears this year at all. But Bears Packers. So back-to-back weeks for the Packers, starting off with their division opponents. But yeah, your thoughts on Sunday night?
I think it's a snooze fest of a game. I'll probably be asleep by halftime, just because the Packers usually roll the Bears easily in their first matchup, and someone's going to get the discount double check probably in this game. And then obviously I'm excited for Monday Night Football. We got 2 opening games. The Titans and the Bills. It's a rematch, I think, from last year. I think they had, or 2 years ago when they had that COVID game, and the Bills got steamrolled by the Titans. So I think that the Bills are probably going to steamroll the Titans this year, especially their home opener. And then my Vikings play in Philly, but I will never attend a game in Philly because obviously no one ever goes to a game in Philly wearing the opposite jersey. Definitely don't do that ever. But I think it's going to be a good matchup. My only concern, Kirk Cousins is winless against anybody not called Chicago on Monday Night Football. So
and that's a tough matchup. One of those teams could be 0-2 after that Monday night game.
we already know it's probably going to be Minnesota.
Please stop. And maybe looking at the list here, I know that we're only on week 2, but maybe we live stream a little bit Monday night.
Listen, I don't like talking when I'm watching Minnesota because I'm usually going to say that the game's over.
Maybe during the Titans Bills up into Minnesota.
All right. I like that idea better because we don't talk when I watch Minnesota because it would have to be a lot of expletives. And I don't want to have we'll have to have a lot of beeping during a show.
We don't want that. So let's keep going. Let's look at number 3 here. Week 3, we kick off with the Steelers and Browns. Both of these teams could be 0-2 coming into this game.
I think it's a horrible Thursday night football game.
Well, and usually Thursday night football, they try to get division matchups, but they're usually not that good of a matchup.
I saw all the Thursday night football matchups, and obviously there was one team missing that I realized was missing, and that being Minnesota. But I just don't like this matchup at all, just because I don't like watching the Browns on primetime games on Thursday night, because usually when the Browns play on Thursday night at home, it's usually like a 9-6 score or 12-7. Like it's some weird number score usually, or Myles Garrett's going to swing a helmet again. Like it's going to be something weird. But going down into the 1:00 games, Saints, Panthers, Texans, Bears, Chiefs, and Colts. Out of those 3 games, the Chiefs and the Colts is probably the best matchup. The Saints, Panthers, and Texans, Bears, those are kind of games that could be pretty close games. They're not going to be landslides. The Chiefs and the Colts, I think, is probably the best game out of those 3, just for the fact that you're going to have 2 offenses that are pretty decent going up against each other, and then 2 defenses that improved in the offseason. And then jumping down to the other 2 games there, Bills, Dolphins, and Lions, Vikings. The Vikings obviously lost one of their games, their first game last year, to the Lions at home. So I'm interested to see how the Lions start 3-0 here, and the Vikings start 0-3. But the Bills and the Dolphins, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's Tyreek Hill home opener for the Dolphins in week 3. I don't think they had a home game in week 1 and 2. So I could be wrong. I might be wrong. But I think the Bills probably landslide this game, just because usually when the Bills go to Florida, they play really great just because they're in warm weather and they're not used to that. So I think that's a really good game. And then going over the rest of the 1:00 games, the Ravens, Patriots, that's an interesting game for the fact that both teams run the ball a lot and both teams don't have a great receiving core. And then the Bengals and the Jets. Didn't the Jets beat the Bengals last year?
They did. They beat the Bengals and the Titans.
Yep. And didn't they beat the Bengals with their backup quarterback? I thought it was that rookie quarterback they had that had a one-off game, and then they started him like a second. They started him next week, and he had like 4 interceptions in the first quarter.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think Mike White did play against the Bengals.
It was Mike White, yeah.
Because Zach Wilson did play against the Titans and had a monster game against the Titans.
Yeah. So I think the Jets lose their first game of the year right there. They fall to 2-1 for you.
Okay.
I'm telling you. But
I could see them losing this game. You have them beating Baltimore. I don't have them beating Baltimore.
I do, for the fact that the Jets have it. Our Jets are going to be able to throw the football. But looking at the rest of these games, the next, say 3 games, Raiders at Titans, Eagles, Commanders, and Jaguars, Chargers. Raiders and Titans, I think the Raiders should be able to win this game convincingly, just because of their offensive power and the fact that their defense is great.
Go ahead, put that up on the screen.
Unacceptable. He's just unacceptable. But then looking at the Eagles Commanders, that could be a game of just kind of pride at that point. Obviously, Philly usually takes over when they play their division games in Washington. So I think that's probably going to be a Philly second home game there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really look at that as a great matchup. Obviously, for us, that's our Fox game of the day, unfortunately.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then the Chargers playing at home against the Jaguars. I'm interested to see if the Jaguar fan base outnumbers the Chargers or if that stadium is pure empty. Because we already know, obviously, everyone takes over LA. We saw it in
only for Chargers games, no, not Rams games.
Yeah, the Rams game isn't as bad. Chargers, yes. But I'm interested to see if the fan base is pretty much empty or if you see like a lot of just random colors. Rams at Cardinals. That's obviously going to be the Fox game of the day. I'm interested to see that kind of matchup because that's probably the Rams' first, I wouldn't say first big game, but their first meaningful game just for the same purposes of that's towards your division. Obviously, you need to win those kind of games. Falcons at Seahawks. That could be an interesting matchup just for the purposes. That could be two teams battling for a playoff spot in the NFC. And it could be that one of those early matchups that become a tiebreaker matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the Fox big game is the Bucs playing at Packers. You got Aaron Rodgers going back into Tampa Bay, and some reason he can't beat Tom Brady, it seems. So what does Aaron Rodgers have to do to be able to beat them? You got to be able to first off show up. But I just want to see how Aaron Rodgers plays going back against Tom Brady, meaning knowing that this could be probably maybe the last time both teams ever played against each other.
Yeah, could be.
What's your thoughts?
Brady signed that big deal with Fox, right?
Yep, for when he retires again.
And no offense to Brady, he doesn't have that great of a voice to do TV. I don't think.
It's all about the brand.
Yeah, but still, I don't know. I think Fox made a mistake. I know people are you're going to get Brady lovers, loving everything he says, but I don't know. I just don't. I've listened to the man talk. I'd rather. I don't know.
Chew on nails.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't. This Sunday night game. I'm not. The 49ers at Broncos. It's going to depend on what the 49ers do at quarterback, I guess.
What are your thoughts on the Monday night game? Are you going to be asleep by the end of the first quarter?
That's. I don't want to say I won't watch it, but
you got to have a better matchup for Monday night games.
I understand that. Cowboys, one of the biggest teams in the country, of course. Giants out of New York, definitely one of the big TV markets in the country. So for TV ratings, I get this game, but for the rest of the nation, nah.
Usually the Cowboys blow out the Giants for every time they play them, so I'm interested to see if that's how this game kind of turns out.
So let's keep going here. Let's do week 4. Week 4. I like this. Dolphins at Bengals. That'll be a good game.
Yeah, again, we finally got a good matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And then we jump over to our first international game. I get to wake up at 9:30 and be really annoyed.
Breakfast with pure adrenaline.
Breakfast with pure annoyance. One, I got to deal with you at 9:30 in the morning, and 2, I got to deal with the Vikings on TV getting probably destroyed. We're starting 0-4.
Oh man, no, you're
But no,
not.
The Browns at Falcons. It could be a good matchup just for the purposes of Deshaun Watson. Kind of, if he's playing at quarterback, we don't really know what's going to happen. It could take 2 years for them to figure out what happens. We don't really know, honestly. But
Right.
and then you got Atlanta with Mariota. What kind of short leash does the Falcons have with the quarterback situation that they have, with knowing that they obviously had Matt Ryan for many years? They weren't going to bench him. Do they bench Mariota if he starts off really bad? It's hard to say. Bills Ravens, I think that'll be a really good matchup just because Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
You have two young quarterbacks going against each other. That's usually a really great matchup, especially for the purposes of the Bills team as a whole is great, and then you got the Ravens offense not being great, but their defense is. So you have that to look forward to, especially being a home game. Again, we're going to be watching the Commanders at Cowboys game.
Yep.
Fox game. We get to fall asleep during watching.
Yep.
Seattle at Detroit. That'll be a good matchup, I think.
Detroit can move to 4-0.
Detroit 4-0. I could see it. I honestly could. They're going to beat Minnesota week 3. They're already 2-0 after week 1 and 2, and then they play Seattle. But no, it'll be interesting to see for the fact of Jared Goff. I believe it's a contract year, if I'm not mistaken. Drew Lock with the Seattle Seahawks or whoever is playing quarterback. So you have two teams that are kind of that we're not really sure kind of question mark. What is it kind of game? What kind of back and forth game we have? And then looking at the rest of the games for the 1 o'clock scenarios, we have to just see like what kind of games we have. But I'm sure there's going to be something that is more entertaining to watch in these first 4 1 o'clock games.
Now, you said Goff. Goff is under contract through the 2024 season, but the Lions could save almost $21 million by cutting him after this season, or if they hold on to him for the 23 season, they'll save almost $27 million. So after this year, they can definitely get out of that contract. So yeah, good point there on him playing for a deal.
Now, what do we got for 1 o'clock? So you got Chargers at Texans. Chargers should win that game for sure. Colts at Titans. Two teams that honestly got a battle for every game they can win in division, just for the fact that that division could be up in hands. The Titans could be on downfall and the Colts could be on a rise, or both those teams could be on a downfall and the Jaguars and Texans could be on a rise, just for the fact that they just drafted like 15 players each.
Mm-hmm.
Bears at Giants.
Another snoozer.
Honestly, that's another boring game just because I don't find any excitement with the Bears and I don't find any excitement with the Giants.
Agreed.
Jaguars at the Eagles. The Jaguars are one of those teams that compete in every game, even though they throw 6 interceptions usually or fumbles. But I think that could be a really good game and a really close game overall. Then what's your thoughts on your Jets at Steelers?
And I like this matchup for the Jets. I know when they go into Pittsburgh, it's always a tough matchup. That was even though when they had Roethlisberger. So who knows what's going to be the deal with Trubisky. They have a great they have a great defense. Don't get me wrong there, and they have a great running back, great tight end. It's all going to depend on quarterback play. This team could be either really good or really bad.
Now the Jets going to be 3-1, 4-0, 2-2.
I honestly would be happy out of these 4 games if the Jets came out 2-2. You can't be any worse than that to have. No, I think they have a very slim chance at the playoffs this year, and even that is even going 2-2, and it's still slim.
Yeah. Then what are your thoughts on the 4:30 games, 4 o'clock, 4:30 games there?
Well, Cardinals. Let's see. Hopkins still won't be back yet. Panthers. Who knows what's going to happen with their quarterback? Darnold is Darnold the guy? I've watched enough film on Darnold, even when he was at USC. The kid can't read a defense. So I think this is if he survives all year as the starter there, I think this is his last year there as well. Patriots Packers. Don't know what kind of I don't like the offseason the Patriots had. Now they still have Belichick and they still have Mac Jones. And they, like you said, they love to run the ball. But yeah, going into Lambeau and Green Bay, I know they had a great draft this year, but how are those receivers going to hold up? Is my guy Lazard going to be able to stay healthy? And is he going to be the go-to guy?
Yeah, we already know Sammy.
Sorry, and the last 4:00 game is Broncos at Raiders, another one of those AFC West teams or matchups. These teams, I know they play each other twice, but I could see any of these anytime this division plays each other, no matter where the game is, I could see either the home team or the road team winning the game.
Oh, absolutely, and it's going to be a battle fest, slugfest probably. I can honestly see one of the AFC West games this year ending with like a 55 to like 52 game score, like slugfest. And then the 8:30 game is for Sunday Night Football rematch at a Super Bowl a few years ago.
I like that game.
I think that's the best game of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly do. And then Monday night's game, I get the Rams are Super Bowl champions and all that, but I just don't think that they deserve a week 4 matchup against the 49ers. I just don't think this is a good, entertaining Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, so let's keep looking. And it's going to depend on what's going on with San Francisco. Now, I know we talked, and I don't know what the chances are. Do you still? I think there's a very slim chance that Aaron Rodgers gets traded to San Francisco. Do you think that could still happen?
I don't really know anymore, honestly. You can't predict anything in the NFL anymore.
Yeah, so
if I can get Aaron Rodgers out of the NFC North, I'm partying probably for a week. I might be like our buddy PAYO and probably not sleep for a year.
Yeah, I was just checking. I thought he was live streaming, unless he didn't stream for long. Maybe I'll send him an invite to see if he wants to join. But yeah, let's look at week 5. And we will take, especially during the regular season, we take a deeper dive into these games, especially once we start making our projections.
Yeah, once we see what teams actually have going for them. Now, for a Thursday night football game, I like this game. I like the Colts at the Broncos. I think it's a really good matchup. And then we jump down to the 9:30 game, Giants at Packers, the second international game. The Packers should be able to roll this game easily.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think the Giants are really good. The Packers, first time ever international, though. What is Aaron Rodgers how does that work for them? Just for the sort of sole purposes of the fact of they've never traveled that far overseas before. How does that affect them? And then looking at the 1:00 games there, you got Steelers at Bills. I don't really see it being a close game, but it could be a good game. Mm-hmm. Chargers at Browns. That could end up being a wild card game matchup. So, or it could be a battle for who gets a playoff seeding. So that might be one of those big games early on in the season. Texans at Jaguars. Who is going to win this game? Probably, we're not really sure. Just because it's probably two teams that got question marks. And then the Bears at the Vikings. Kirk Cousins likes to beat the Bears. So we should be able to win that game. We might be 1-4 by this point in the year. So we'll be off to a great start, but can't go anywhere but up from 1-4.
Yeah, so let's keep looking. Bears, Vikings, and man, the NFC North games are always fun to watch.
Not if you're a Vikings fan, they're really not.
Goodness, you were. Oh, here we go. Lions going to New England. What do you think here?
That'll be a good matchup, I think. Isn't that the first time Matt Patricia would be playing against Detroit again?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
I think that would be the first time since he got fired. And then looking at the Seattle at Saints game, that'll be a good game, I think, just for the purposes of early on in the season. Both teams are going to be really probably hurting at that point with their record. So it could be a pick-me-up game, honestly, in week 5.
Yeah, so let's where did you leave off?
I left off for you to talk about your Jets.
Yeah, well, Jets Dolphins never good. I don't like the fact that Hill had his choice to go to either Miami or the Jets. I know he's from the Miami area, I believe, so that's why he went down there. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of connection he has with Tua. These ever since I became a fan in '86, these matchups have gone either way. I really like the Jets defense this year. I think we still have a lot of questions on offense, especially at quarterback with Zach Wilson. So, I mean, I'm hoping for a home win, but yeah, you never know. Then we have the Falcons Bucks. I don't know. I think Tampa Bay is one of the teams in the NFC that'll be definitely fighting for the NFC Championship. Then Titans Commanders to round out the 1:00 games. I don't know what the Commanders are doing. I don't like what they're doing down there in Washington. What are your thoughts there to end out the 1:00 games?
Yeah, I agree with that. And then looking at the 4:00 games, honestly, looking at those 3 games there, the most exciting one's going to be obviously the Cowboys at the Rams. The other 2 could go either way, obviously, depending on what the situation starts out the year. But I think the Cowboys playing at LA is probably going to be the biggest, just for the fact of you got probably 2 heavyweights of the NFC going at it right there. So I think that'll be obviously the game of the week for Fox.
Mm-hmm.
The Sunday night game, it'll be a good game because it's a division rivalry.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Lamar usually shows up for his primetime games, so I think obviously he'll show up for this.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a division game, so that'll be fun. And then another good one for Monday night, Raiders Chiefs over in Arrowhead. So that'll be a good matchup to end week 5.
Yeah, and this could be one of those games, like I said, AFC West 55-52 kind of games where they score 100-plus points. This could be it just for the purposes of these teams are heavyweights.
Yep. So let's keep moving here. Time is flying by. It's almost 9. It's 8:45 here on the East Coast. Thank you for everybody that's watching. Make sure you if you're not, you hit that follow button. And thank you for everybody that has gone above and beyond and hit that subscribe button as well. Plenty more to come. Now that the schedule's out, I am really going to amp up our fantasy football projections for the year. I hope to have I'm about 70% done where I feel comfortable. I hope by the end of the month, more about 90%. And then you just kind of wait for injuries during training camp and preseason to kind of round out all the other stuff. And still some big names available in free agency as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll have to adjust some projections for as well. So
go
ahead.
So looking at the Thursday night game here, I don't even want to talk about it.
No, I can tell you right now, that's going to be we live stream at 7:00 every Thursday night right before kickoff. That's going to be one of our least watched our least watched shows.
Probably just for sole purposes of it's not going to be a good game. Looking down at the games, obviously, I don't think any of the first 2 games there are really going to be relevant. And then, what do you think of your Jets playing at Green Bay?
No, you don't think Patriots Browns is relevant?
No, just because I don't like the Patriots team. I really don't. I don't think that the Patriots have a good team this year, so I don't think that they're not going to be contending for a playoff spot. I see the Patriots contending to be like a 6-11 team, maybe even a 7-10 team.
Wow. So, my Jets going into Lambeau. I don't know. Green Bay's tough. Of course, with Aaron Rodgers, if he's still there. Um, you know, what is their wide receiver core going to look like? I know they lost some of their pass rush during the offseason. So that's going to hurt them a little bit. The back end of their defense is really good. So it'll be interesting to see there. But, man, the Jets added some great weapons on offense. If they click, you never know. So, but any thoughts on Jets Packers? I know you let me take that one there, but what do you think? What do you think there?
I mean, you know more about the Jets than anyone, but I think it'll probably be a decent matchup just because the Jets play everybody hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it comes down, obviously, to turnover ratios for the year. And then looking at the rest of these 1 o'clocks, Jaguars, Colts, it's a division matchup, so it should be a decent game.
And the Jaguars won last year, right?
Yep. Well,
I believe if the Colts would have won that game, the Colts would have been in the playoffs.
Well, the Colts can't beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville. I think it's 9 straight years.
Gotcha.
So that's the matchup we always got to look forward and know that the upset could happen there. And then looking at the Vikings travel to Miami, Tyreek Hill is probably going to go off for 300 yards because for some reason our secondary usually gets burned by somebody really great with speed. And looking at the rest of these games here down to the Sunday Night Football game, the only game I really look forward to watching at these times is the Bills at the Chiefs.
Right.
I think that's the game of the week. I don't know why that's not a Sunday Night Football game.
Well, the networks do get to protect a certain amount of games, so I'm sure this was one of the first games that CBS protected, would be my guess.
Yeah, just for the fact of I think it's going to be probably one of the best games they have. I mean, the playoff matchup from last year, you're never going to be able to relive that again. And then Monday Night Football, you have Sunday night and Monday night, you have 2 division matchups. Usually division matchups, obviously in those divisions, the AFC West and NFC East are usually bloody, and they're back and forth. So I can see both of them being honestly a high-scoring back-and-forth game where defenses are irrelevant and it's all offense.
Yeah, and at least this week, at least for week 6 here, in our Dynasty League, I got my quarterback going on the Monday night game, so hopefully I can pull out a win on a Monday night. I'll go like 1-13 this year. I've been in the playoffs the last 2 years, and this will be the year I finish like 2-12 or something.
Every year you try to think you can beat me, and it don't work out.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go to week 17. I wanted to go to week 7.
Jeez.
So Thursday night, I don't know what to think of the Saints. Let's see. This is week 7, so Hopkins
is back.
Hopkins is back. So, yeah, your thoughts on Thursday night and then the start of the 1 o'clock slate.
I think Hopkins coming back is going to be huge for the Cardinals at that time, for Kyler Murray and Marquise Brown. I think that opens up the whole offense for the Cardinals, obviously. Looking at the rest of these 1 o'clock games, honestly, none of them are really, like, wowing me, like, what a matchup. So I would say let's see what other matchups we have for the rest of the afternoon, and see what we have that we can talk about, because I think looking at these matchups for the week right here in week 7, I don't really see any of those wow matchups that could be like the big games, like meaningful.
Right.
You got Chiefs versus at the 49ers as a rematch of the Super Bowl from a few years ago when the Chiefs won their Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't really see any big key matchups that is something that is worth talking about this early in schedule release.
Yeah, I'm not liking week 7 here.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
So let's take a look at week 8. I don't know what week. Do you know what week buys start?
I think 5 or 6 probably.
So I haven't been paying attention to that. So starting off week 8, the Thursday night is Baltimore and Tampa Bay. This could be a good matchup.
Yeah, I agree. And then you have another international game with Jacksonville playing their home game, their
And
one home game a year.
And I just saw that's a ESPN Plus game.
Yeah.
So let's look here: Panthers, Falcons, Bears, Cowboys, Dolphins, Lions, Cardinals, Vikings. Unless you're a fan of one of these teams, none of these matchups really jump out. Unless I'm missing something.
No, the only thing I would think is the Cardinals at Vikings. The Vikings lost last year on a last-second missed field goal against the Cardinals, so that could be a big rematch game where the fact of the Vikings should have won that game, but the Cardinals sneaked one out.
So let's look at the other 1:00 games before let's see, Raiders, Saints. I don't know what to think of the Saints. What do you think of the Saints?
A team that had negative 50 million in cap to having 30+ million in cap, I still don't know how it happened.
Yeah,
whatever bank they robbed, I want to go there.
Yeah. Patriots, Jets. I always hate playing the Patriots. Steelers, Eagles, Titans, Texans, Commanders, Colts, 49ers, Rams, Giants, Seahawks. But then the Sunday night game, we got the Packers at the Bills. Now here on paper, it looks good. But what's Green Bay going to be?
Yeah, I think the Bills honestly could win this game easily. Just because Green Bay, we're not really sure what they have. And Buffalo, we kind of know what they have. And then for the Monday night game, I really like this matchup just because Joe Burrow's Monday night game, first one of the year he has as a Monday night game. And he's playing in Cleveland against Deshaun Watson. So what do the fans bring when you have two Ohio teams playing against each other on a Monday night game on Halloween? You have the two orange teams playing against each other on Halloween night.
See?
At least Sam Darnold's not playing.
He'll still be seeing ghosts though, bud.
He'll be seeing ghosts even though he's benched by now.
Probably. So let's look at week 9. Week 9 would be after week 9. We're at the midpoint of the season. Eagles Texans to kick off the week.
Not a fan.
Unless you're a fan of these two teams, this game doesn't get you all that excited.
No.
And the early slate of 1:00 games. I do like that Packers Lions matchup. And I will keep an eye on the Raiders Jaguars, depending on how the Jaguars are playing.
Yeah, looking at those games, I'm not a fan of any of them. None of them really on paper right now kind of scream like huge matchup, crucial for the midseason. So I would say let's look at the rest of these 1:00s and look over the 4:00 games just to see what we have going.
So we have Colts going to New England. You don't think New England's going to be that good? Colts, I don't know. Matt Ryan. I still don't like. I still think they need a little bit of help at wide receiver. But Jonathan Taylor, I mean, definitely one of the one or two in fantasy football running backs. But Bills going to the Jets. I still think the Bills. The Bills are definitely Super Bowl contenders. So I see my Jets losing there. But then your Vikings going to the nation's capital to face the Washington football team. Your thoughts there?
Maybe I'll have to go to that game knowing that they play on the East Coast and it's not in Philly. But
it'll be a good drive is DC from here?
I think it's like a 3-hour, 4-hour drive, so not too far.
Yeah.
But looking at the rest of the matchups for the week, the Rams we'll probably get smoked by like 60.
Oh, what's Carson Wentz, right?
Yeah.
6 touchdowns. They benched
6 touchdowns, 500
they benched
yards.
him after the third quarter because he's at 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, like break every NFL record for passing yards, passing touchdowns in a game, third quarter, 10 minutes ago. Like, came out of halftime, threw a touchdown, first drive, got to go.
Sam Howell's the next TB12. As long as he's not in my division, I don't care.
No.
But yeah, the rest of week 9 here.
The rest of the week 9 matchups. I like the Rams at Bucks. Mm-hmm. Game of the week. It should be another one of those Sunday Night Football, Monday night games, I think, but obviously it's not. But I'm not really excited about the Titans Chiefs. I'm not a fan of that being a Sunday night game. And the Monday night game, again, I'm not a fan of it just because I don't really think that's a exciting Monday night game. Those two teams I don't think are really that big, like, wow kind of teams.
Yeah, Overlord says he goes over 50 against the Cowboys, though. And they still win the game.
he's gotta first be able to be starting a game.
Hey, we're just wrapping up this week, but we have a special guest coming on. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go. Let's switch things up here a little bit. Shawn, did you see who our guest is?
I did.
Let's switch this up. PAYO Time, thank you for joining us. LA Rams YouTuber. How are you this evening, bud?
I am well. How are you guys doing? Congrats on the sponsor. That's awesome.
Yeah, got a couple sponsors going now.
But also congratulations on, just being a football fan. And we got our schedule, folks. We got it.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you think? What was Rams Nation? The Ramley, what were they feeling? Did they want it to be Buffalo, or were they hoping for somebody else on the week one?
I think there was a lot of people that wanted the Broncos or the Raiders or the Cowboys or a divisional game even. I didn't. I was one of many Ram fans that predicted and wanted the Buffalo Bills, and I think it's absolutely the right game to start off the NFL season. Buffalo's a great team. The Rams are a great team coming off of the Super Bowl win. I think it's a great way to start off the new football season. And I'm looking forward to doing a live stream for it.
Yeah, and just while you're here, before we get going with the schedule some more, let everybody know. I'll put your link in the chat, but I know you got some cool things happening at the beginning of the football season here.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I host watch parties for pretty much every Rams game, but this first one, September 8th, I am going to be doing an 8-hour charity live stream, and we are going to raise money to fight food insecurity around the world, and we're gonna have some special guests, and it's gonna be a fun day of talking football. So be sure to come on out and have fun.
Yeah, and everybody that's here watching, I put the link for PAYO's YouTube channel over in the chat, so check him out. And since your Rams did win the Super Bowl, we asked you this last time you were on. Have you gotten any sleep?
a little bit, but the party has not stopped. And honestly, like anytime it starts to go down, you start to rewatch highlights from the season or the playoffs or the Super Bowl, and it was amazing. It really was. Like the season alone was awesome and fun. Then the playoffs were amazing and fun and awesome, and then the Super Bowl was just like this own unique, awesome, amazing, and full. And yes, I know I repeat those words a lot, but I really enjoyed it. But I'm curious. So John and Shawn, curious, what do you guys think of, Shawn, what do you think of the Vikings schedule? I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. And John, what about the Jets? I haven't had a chance to look at it either.
I'll start off with my Jets. At first, I didn't like the fact that they were starting off against Baltimore. I thought maybe getting an easier team, maybe not that any game's easy in the NFL, but maybe a more favorable matchup. Then I thought about it. I'd rather play Baltimore at the beginning of the year than say if the Jets somehow can turn it around and get the 7-8 wins and fighting for one of those last wild card spots. I'm glad we're playing Jacksonville right before Christmas, and not Baltimore right before Christmas. To keep any hopes alive, maybe. But yeah, Shawn, Shawn, if you need to, I can put the Vikings full schedule up on screen if you need it.
No, honestly, it's one of those seasons where we could finish first or we can finish fourth, just because I really don't know what the division's gonna bring. But no, I think honestly, I just think that the Vikings have to this is kind of their year. You gotta win the division.
Yeah.
you got Aaron Rodgers kind of coming and going at this point. Well, how much longer has he got? You can't keep wasting time. But then you got Detroit, who kind of had a great draft, great offseason so far. So, and they already were they were getting better as the weeks went on last year. And you think about it, they could have probably been a playoff team just if they win their one-score games that they had. So I just think that the Vikings have to win 10 to 11 games this year, and you can't keep losing in the fourth quarter. If we have as many fourth quarter blown games as we did last year, we'll already be firing the coach year one. And I think that's honestly where they're going to have to kind of prove a point. Like, I don't like seeing the coach get fired right away, but if we already have the same issues as the year prior, it's kind of obviously either the players have to kind of get moved around or something's got to get moved.
Yeah, and PAYO, I know we all know now Buffalo to kick off the year, but what do you think of the Rams, the rest of their schedule as they start defending their championship?
Yeah, there's some really interesting moments of it, and I think one of the more interesting things is we play the 49ers twice before the season's half over. And like as I look at the 49ers are kind of our biggest rival, so there's you kind of always want, like, you play your rival once near the beginning and once near the end, but by week 8 we've played the 49ers twice, and then even by week 10 we've played 4 of our division games. Like, we've played the Cardinals twice and the Niners twice. We don't play the Seahawks until December 4th is the first time we play them, and then we finish off the year with Seattle as well. I do love that we get to play the Chargers, and it's a road game for us.
Very nice.
And that we get to play Week 17, which is the narrative of the Chargers choking is going to be in full swing, no doubt. So excited about that. And yeah, like I think it's going to be a fun schedule. We have probably, when you look at it, we have a pretty tough stretch from like after our bye week 8 till about probably week 17. There's no games in there that are gimmies, right? Like, those are some tough games. Really, like, the schedule as a whole, it's a tough schedule. You look at the wins that on paper are kind of a no-brainer are the Falcons and the Panthers. But there's some good teams.
What do you mean? You guys aren't beating Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Oh, I cannot wait. Okay, John, when the Rams do play the Jets again, I want you to know that I want the Rams to be the Jets so bad because of last time. Like that game still haunts me. And if it wasn't for us winning the Super Bowl, I wouldn't have probably gotten over it. But
and as a Jets fan, that is probably one of our worst wins ever. We were all hoping to go 0-16 that year, and we end up beating Cleveland and the Rams.
2 teams that you didn't expect to beat, especially the Rams.
Yeah. So, Shawn and I were just going through the schedule here, just taking a quick look on a weekly basis. Are there any, besides your Rams matchups, are there any other matchups that stick out to you that you're excited to watch?
Okay, I could you pull up the Colts schedule?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I have one of my best friends. He's a big Colts fan, and he literally texted me like, the Colts got gypped. I'm like, what do you mean? And if you look at their schedule, there's something really interesting about it at the start. Is so they start the year on the road. They play Houston. So the Colts have not won week 1 in like 5 years. Like they go 0-1 like every year.
Wow.
Interesting.
And then I think the stat is like since 2015, they've never won in Jacksonville.
Right. Shawn was saying that before.
Yeah.
And so like that's their first 2 weeks of the year, and then they play the Chiefs.
And then the Titans, Broncos, and Jaguars again. Man.
Yeah.
Man.
So we'll see if old Matty Ice can can break some of those Colts curses that have been going on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see for sure. Looking at it that way now.
So let's keep looking. We were up to week 10. We were just starting week 10 Thursday night, taking a look at some of the Thursday night matchups because, like I said, Shawn and I live stream.
Ew, the Falcons and Panthers. Who wants to watch that? What? Don't give that a prime time game. Oh my.
But then, Shawn, your Vikings go to Buffalo.
We lose
can
by
travel
40.
up there. It's only a 5-hour drive if you want to go.
I don't want to go somewhere to watch them lose by 40. It's probably, I'm telling you, it's going to be a bad year for the Vikings because they're going to get burned by so many receivers. But this is the first time that the Bills play at Minnesota since they traded Stephon Diggs. So I'm interested to see on how that ends up being for the fact of you have Diggs and Jefferson who get to kind of see each other for the first time in action together other than the Pro Bowl. So I'm interested to see that. But other than that, I don't really see any other matchups at the early hour that I like. Obviously, we talked about the international game with the Seahawks and the Bucks already. But other than that, I mean, the Thursday night game, it's kind of just I'm probably going to fall asleep by the first quarter.
Yeah. I don't, and like I said, I know the networks do get to protect some of these games, but man, looking at some of these matchups like Texans Saints, Saints Steelers.
I honestly I think the game of the week to me is the Cowboys at Packers, just because.
No, stop. Cardinals Rams is the matchup of the week.
I think the Packers just for the fact that I think Aaron Rodgers loves beating Dallas. He really loves just to beat up on them.
I'll give a shout out to also that Colts Raiders game could be good.
See, we were talking. I said earlier. I feel like one of the AFC West division matchups this year is going to end with like 100+ points scored in it, just for the fact that I think one of those games at some point this year, the offenses are just going to be like, all right, it's time. Let's just erupt for 50.
Yeah.
Harold wants to know who do the Lions have on Thanksgiving.
That's week 11, I think.
No. One year they should actually make Detroit play Dallas.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
What are you going to do? Play 2 games?
No, add a third game.
Nope.
Nope.
I think the thing is like Dallas and Detroit always get to host a game.
Yeah. You can't break tradition.
So that'll be week 12 actually.
Wow, it's week 12. It's late this year.
So we'll get to that in a minute. But this Thursday night matchup, depending on what's happening in Tennessee with the receivers and Tannehill, going into Green Bay, that could be a decent matchup to start week 11.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, this should be right around when the trade deadline is for the NFL. So it could be a lot of players maybe on bad teams being on the move right now in this point of the year.
And so far, and once again, some of these games here, Bears, Falcons, Panthers, Ravens, Browns, Bills, depending on what's going on with Watson there in Cleveland. But I don't expect Buffalo to lose at home. Washington and Houston, and then Eagles, Colts. Guys, any of those games jumping out to you?
No.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, exactly.
They all seem like they probably should be like hopefully non-televised.
I guess the wild card the wild card in that
non-televised
is if Deshaun Watson is playing at Deshaun Watson of old level, and the Browns and Bills could be an entertaining game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I think that's the biggest question. What does Deshaun Watson even bring to the table? I mean, is he even playing at that point? Is he suspended?
Right. Yeah. So to finish out the 1:00 games, we got the Jets going to New England. PAYO, your Rams going to the Saints, and the Lions and Giants. I don't know what to think of the Saints. I honestly don't know if they're going to be good or bad.
So many variables on that team that we got to find out, and until we see it on the gridiron, we just won't know.
And then obviously, I look down towards the bottom there. I see that Dallas is probably going to put another ass whooping on Minnesota. So another game we probably lose on national TV because that'd probably be the
Right.
CBS game of the day.
No,
And
Chiefs Chargers is going to be the CBS game of the day.
That's a good
I don't know. It's Dallas though. It's hard to say that they don't give Dallas a game because it's weird to sit here and say that Dallas is going to be on CBS with Minnesota, two NFC teams, and you have Las Vegas and Denver on a Fox television.
Yeah,
Where
let's
you
look at that.
That's
it's
weird.
weird
Yeah.
unless because especially for the 4:30 games, those are usually the game of the day for at
Mhm.
Fox, and both 4:30 games are on CBS.
Yeah. So, and then the Sunday night that week we got Bengals Steelers. Like I said, I mean, it all comes down to Trubisky.
Joe Burrow sweeps the Steelers back-to-back years.
And then a matchup, PAYO, you'll probably be watching late in the year, 49ers Cardinals.
Definitely. Yeah. Always go watch the NFC West matchups.
Yeah. So let's go to week 12 here. Now we get to Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Bill Lions.
Bills.
I really gotta be annoyed on Thanksgiving at 8:30 at night. Really?
Shawn, we're live streaming that game.
No, I'm gonna probably be drunk by then. I really have to be intoxicated to watch them. Come on. Why they gotta do me dirty like that?
The only two times I root for the Giants is when they play the Patriots or the Cowboys. So
you're
rooting for the Giants on Thanksgiving.
I can't get over the fact that I got to be annoyed on Thanksgiving at 8:30 at night.
You're annoyed all the time.
Well, yeah, I got to watch Minnesota. Have you ever been?
Look at Harold. What do you mean, Harold? You guys always play well on Thanksgiving.
When's the last Thanksgiving game that the Lions won? That had to have been like 2014, 2013.
I'll look it up.
I think you're wrong.
I don't even think Minnesota. Well, I think Minnesota's undefeated on Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Okay.
Let's look here.
2016.
That's close.
That's the last time they won.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know.
Wait. Yeah. Wow, this is quite an extensive article. Yeah, just double check it. Yeah, they beat Minnesota 16-13 in 2016. You know what? Do you know what's crazy though is actually between 2013 and 2016 they had a 4-year win record, including a 40-10 win over the Packers in 2013.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah. And then they put on the Eagles. That must have been Stafford balling out, but I'd say peak Stafford, but we all know.
We do not. We blow ass. We have a better chance of winning the lottery on an expired. And Frank is here, always lurking in the back. Frank, thanks for being here.
So Frank,
I can't believe I got to be annoyed on Thanksgiving night.
you can at least you can beat the Patriots.
That's not the point. That's the point. I got to be annoyed on Thanksgiving. I can't even enjoy my Thanksgiving, my favorite holiday of the year, and I got to be annoyed. Ruined my day. Just ruined it. It's over.
I thought my birthday was your favorite holiday of the year.
No. That's usually when I TP your house. But I don't know. I mean, Minnesota by then, maybe Kirk Cousins gets traded. I don't know.
Let's look at some of the other matchups for Week 12. Broncos Panthers, Bucks Browns, Ravens Jags. Not a good start to Sunday. Texans Dolphins, Bears Jets, Bengals Titans. Depending on how Tennessee's playing, I don't know.
Looking at the schedule in advance like this, it's weird thinking about it because it's you look at these games and you're like, none of these are really interesting. But then when this time comes in Week 12, we're gonna be like, that's a really interesting game.
Yeah, right. True.
There's so many, for all we know, a team like the Bears or the Jets, or the Commander, like these teams that they have players with high upside on them, and they make the jump and they win some games that no one expected them to win, right?
Yeah.
Especially look at the Bengals last year, third worst odds to begin the year, and they went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Against a team that had the third best odds. So
Yeah.
I guess you got to look at who has the third worst and third best, because there might be Super Bowl contenders.
So the 4:00 slate, we got Chargers Cardinals. That should be a good matchup. Raiders Seahawks. The worst game of the week is Rams Chiefs. What do you think about your Rams going into Arrowhead?
Oh, I've been waiting for this game for 4 years. I'm so excited for it. Monday Night Football, greatest football game of my lifetime, in my humble opinion. Rams versus Chiefs is Monday Night Football in 2018, and here we go. We finally get the rematch. So I'm hoping that we can go into Arrowhead and beat old Patty Mahomes and Andy Reid there.
Now,
Shawn, your thoughts on any of the other games?
I just looked up. Obviously, we were talking about the third best and third worst odds going to Super Bowl last year. Any guesses on who the third best and third worst is without having to look it up?
Third best is Tampa Bay. Third worst is Commanders.
Yeah.
What do you think, PAYO?
I'm gonna guess third best is someone like the Broncos or something, and then I'll say that third worst is the Texans.
Oh, Texans, yeah.
It would be the Chiefs versus the Titans, or the Chiefs versus the Lions Super Bowl, if that's the case. If it's third
Chiefs
best, third
versus
worst.
the Lions.
Because that's the Super Bowl everyone's asking for.
Harold says, actually, come to think about it, by Thanksgiving, who knows who will be injured. It's true. He said Lions are the third worst, but no. Lions are one of the teams I'm excited to watch.
No one thought the Bengals, though, would be. Telling you, they're going to win 10 games. They're going to win the division yet. But no,
and then we end that week with the Packers Eagles.
Yeah, and I think obviously the Rams Chiefs is obviously the biggest game of the week. But ending the week with the Packers being able to beat up on Philly, I might have to cheer for the Packers for a week.
He said, yes, I'm asking for the Lions to be in one Super Bowl.
That's fair, Harold. I apologize for my comment. Yeah.
Hey, the Lions did end up with the 32nd pick. Remember? You got to win the Super Bowl to get the 32nd pick.
And honestly, I would be so happy for Jared Goff.
Yeah, they just traded.
If that happened,
So, any thoughts on Steelers Colts to end Week 12?
Hey, you never know.
You know what? The Steelers are another one of those teams that we just don't know what we're getting. I mean, we're not going to have Big Ben there. What happens with Mitchell Trubisky? Yeah.
Yeah, so let's move on into December.
Yeah, that could just be like a.
I am sorry though. This has been fun, guys. Always a pleasure. I do gotta hop off. But
PAYO Time. Thank you again. Give out your information again, and I'll put it in the chat again.
For sure. Yeah, thank you so much. I love coming on your stream. PAYO Time. You can find me on YouTube if you put in my name. I'm the first one that comes up. But I talk about the Rams and football. And we're friendly reminder. I'm doing a charity 8-hour live stream on September 8th, the first game of the season. I'll be live 5 hours before the game and then during the game, and whatever time we end up, we're going to end up. But it's going to be a fun day talking football.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for the invite. Always a pleasure.
See you. So that's fun. Always a fun time when PAYO comes on. I tried getting our buddy Jeremy, NFL Chaos with Jeremy. He's got a YouTube channel as well. Tried getting him on. He was working late tonight, so he wasn't able to join us. But yeah, to start December here, Shawn, we got Bills Patriots kicking off Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, at this point in time, obviously playoff seeding comes down to it, and where your win and loss record is. At this point in time, the Bills could honestly even maybe eliminate the Patriots on a Thursday night football game from playoffs, maybe even just because of way seeding could happen. But looking down the rest of the 1 o'clock games, I'm excited for the Jaguars at Lions. Just for the fact of you got the two worst teams from last year replaying each other this year.
Yeah. Yep. So let's keep moving here. Browns, Texans.
Are we heading to Minnesota, bud?
I think I'm saying it right now. December 1st, I am canceling our live stream, or December whatever it is. December 4th, I'm canceling our live stream.
Why? We're gonna live stream the game. So when the Jets kick the Vikings' ass, you can just be like, all right. But
you talk about a bad game.
Looking at the rest, I wish it was in New York. We'd be going, or Jersey, should I say?
Surrounded by Viking fans.
Oh, hey, we always have that one nut in there, and it's me.
Yep. Commanders, Giants, Titans, Eagles, Seahawks, Rams.
Yeah, looking at the rest of the schedule, I'm excited for the Chiefs-Bengals rematch, the AFC title game. The Chiefs imploded there in the second half, and the Bengals couldn't do anything wrong. So I'm excited for that. And then obviously Monday Night Football, you got the Saints at the Bucks. Tom Brady again can't beat the Saints. So does Tom Brady lose again to the Saints?
And how about Sunday night there, Colts, Cowboys?
Yeah, I mean, Matt Ryan on a primetime game against Dallas, it could be a playoff seeding game for the fact of Dallas or Indy could be in a division rivalry matchup there where they need this game to be able to take the seeding over.
So let's keep going here. Let's look at week 14. Ian Rappaport was just tweeting out. I just wanted to see if it was anything important. Raiders, Rams to start week 14.
Yeah, we finally got a Thursday night game that's meaningful.
Mm-hmm. And it's late in the year too.
Yeah, and then you look down at the rest of the weeks there for week 1 for the 1 o'clock games. Jets, Bills, that's a pretty good game right there because it could come down that the Bills might need it for a seeding overall. But then you got Browns, Bengals, just because it's a division matchup. Even the Vikings and Lions, right here is where you start eliminating teams from playoff contention. The team might be already gone or hanging on by a thin limb. So this might be where somebody might get eliminated right here.
Yeah, Eagles, Giants, Ravens. Looks like a lot of division matchups this week. Ravens, Steelers, Jaguars, Titans. To end the 1 o'clock games, and then 4 o'clock games, we got Dolphins, Chargers, Panthers, Seahawks, Bucks, Niners, and then Sunday night, Chiefs going to Mile High.
Yeah, I like that game as a Sunday night game just because those games usually are really big, and the Broncos play hard. And now that they have Russell Wilson, I think that's a crucial game right there because that right there could be either you are making or missing the playoffs kind of game. And that point in time, you could even be knocking the Chiefs out of playoff contention, so you never know. But and then for the Monday night game, I'm not a fan of that just because I'm not a fan of the Patriots and Cardinals because I just don't think those are two exciting teams, really.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I think the Patriots will be eliminated by then, so that game probably not going to have much impact there. Let's keep moving to week 15. Week 15, we kick off with 49ers Seahawks. I don't like that matchup.
No. I don't think
go ahead.
I don't like division matchups on primetime games. I just don't think they're ever exciting enough.
Yeah, so let's look at some of the 1 o'clock games here. Steelers, Panthers, Eagles, Bears, Chiefs, Texans. Texans will probably be out of it by then. Cowboys, Jaguars, and Lions, Jets. Oh, Harold, oh, man. Lions, Jets. I might have to pinch some pennies.
Jesus, you're pinching pennies. You're gonna have to go roll your bank coins real quick.
But any thoughts on any of the 1 o'clock games here?
No, I'm excited to watch the Lions Jets. Just because we have Lions Jags, Lions Jets. So the 4 worst teams, you have 3 of them playing each other throughout the year this year. I don't know if the Texans play any of them in between. Well, obviously the Texans play the Jaguars, but I meant like the Lions or the Jets. But I'm excited to see those. I feel like that week could be a lot of trash talk. Why can't it be like a Sunday Night Football game? But I'm excited to see what other kind of games we have for the 4 o'clock window here, just because it's the playoff time of the year. Yeah, see, like I like seeing these games. Obviously, I don't like the Sunday night game. I think that's bad. I'm not a fan of it. But Monday night's game is probably gonna be a big game because that could come down to 1 or a 2 seed game just because of last year. And what are the games not scheduled? Wow.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, so that's a timing issue then.
They might have that for flexing.
So Dolphins, Bills, Ravens, Browns. Oh, division matchup: Colts, Vikings.
I could be disappointed again.
Giants, Commanders. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
like you said, we're looking at the schedule now with 5 months or whatever it is to go. When these weeks roll around, we're gonna have a different take.
Absolutely.
So let's look.
There it is. The game of the year. We are live streaming that game. Christmas, the week of your birthday, Christmas week, we're doing it. It's happening. All game, we get to talk Jets.
Oh, man. And I hope if we do get to show the games when they're on Amazon, that would be great because we'll definitely have a watch party for that one.
Oh, absolutely. We got to do something just to watch. Just like you want to watch the Vikings play on Thanksgiving. You just want to annoy me on live stream.
Oh, we're going to have to go back to that. I know Amazon was trying to get a Black Friday game.
Interesting.
We'll have to go back. I don't remember seeing a Friday game.
I have not seen a Friday game. I've only seen – this is the first we've seen Saturday, obviously because it's Christmas Eve.
Right. Well, and I believe most of the games are going to be on Saturday. Falcons, Ravens, Lions, Panthers, Bills, Bears, Saints, Browns, Seahawks, Chiefs. Nothing crazy. Giants, Vikings, Bengals, Patriots. Patriots will probably be out of it by then.
Maybe for my brother for Christmas, maybe we'll fly together and go out to Minnesota and we'll watch the Giants play Minnesota.
Oh, that'd be cool for you guys.
I wish they played in Jersey just because they haven't played there in many years. And
then Sunday, Christmas Day, we actually get 3 games. I didn't know that.
At least thank God. I'm just glad Minnesota don't play so they don't annoy me on Christmas and Thanksgiving. They might as well play on Halloween and annoy all my holidays.
And New Year's Day.
Yeah, just ruin them all. Just kill my holiday joy because you're just ruining them all.
But yes, Christmas Day games: Packers, Dolphins, Broncos, Rams. That's the Nickelodeon game.
Oh God!
And then to end Christmas night, we have Buccaneers, Cardinals. That could be a good game.
Any of those games could be meaningful games, big games. They could be honestly just games that are irrelevant at that time, even.
Yeah, and then to end week 16, we have the Chargers, Colts. Depending on how things are going in Indy, that could be for some playoff seeding as well.
Absolutely, and it could eliminate somebody as well, depending on how the season goes.
Yep, agreed. So let's go 17. So we got Cowboys, Titans on the 29th. And then New Year's Day.
Oh, great. Minnesota. Who do they play so I can get annoyed?
Let's see here. Cardinals, Falcons, Steelers, Ravens, Bears, Lions, Jags, Texans, Broncos, Chiefs. That's a good matchup.
We probably play the Packers and are going to annoy me by having that game.
Dolphins, Patriots, Colts, Giants, Saints, Eagles, Panthers, Bucks. Where are you guys? Browns, Commanders, 49ers.
Maybe they left us off the schedule. Oh, there we are. There we go.
But you're not the night game. You were not the night game.
That's fine. We're probably the game of the day on CBS. The only 4:30 game. So I'm going to be annoyed probably.
Why would you just text me? Why would you just send me that chat?
I figured you want to know. But I get to be annoyed on Sunday afternoon on New Year's Day. Another holiday ruined for me. They just ruined all my.
You don't know. What if Rodgers gets traded?
The Vikings then lose to Detroit to the division.
And then Sunday night we got the Rams Chargers. That could be a good matchup. Like PAYO, when PAYO Time was just here, he was just saying he's glad the Rams are actually the away team for that game. Doesn't matter. It would have been all Rams fans in the stands anyway. And then to end that week 17, we got the Bills Bengals.
Yeah, and I'm actually excited for that. I think it'll be a good game because it could come down again to a big seeding week. So huge game.
Yep, absolutely. So let's go to week 18. We're 2 hours in here. Thank you for everybody being here. Make sure you hit that follow button. And once again, thank you for those that have gone above and beyond and become subscribers to the channel as well.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about the giveaways here in a little bit again. We got the Yahoo League that you set up, the DraftKings leagues that you set up. So got some cool things coming. I got like I said, the fantasy projections. I have all the positions done. We're about 70%. Nothing scheduled yet because they wait to see what the game to see what the game is. So let's look. Let's see. Wonder if we can make our predictions now and see how they fare come week 18. So we got Bucks Falcons. I'm gonna say no. Patriots Bills no. Vikings Bears no. Ravens Bengals is a possibility.
Yeah,
Lions Packers could be a possibility.
I could see the Eagles and Giants even. Just because you never know with the Eagles situation. Same with the Cowboys. And then obviously you have all the AFC West games. All of those are going to be crucial. And same with the NFC West. All those games could be crucial as well. Yep. So honestly, week 18 could be a huge confusing week for the season, obviously, for the fact that you never know what could happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, that was just the schedule was released tonight. So we wanted to take a look to see how it was looking. Some of the Thursday night games. I wanted to go. Before we go, what week was that? Was that week 12 for Thanksgiving or 13?
Why do we got to talk about this?
I wanted to see.
You just want to annoy me.
No Friday game. So I know Amazon wanted to do a Black Friday game because NBC gets the Thursday night game, but it doesn't look like that happened this year. So thank you, Shawn, for being here. Everybody in the chat, thank you for being here. Our buddy PAYO Time, LA Rams YouTuber, was here for a little bit, talking Rams. Some cool things coming up. Like we said, the Fantasy League over on Yahoo, that's free. Once we start filling that up, Shawn came up with some prizes for that. We have the DraftKings stuff set up so we can play for money during the year for that. Go ahead.
Once the NFL season hits week 5 until week 16, which was last year, you will be able to watch all Thursday Night Football broadcasts on NFL Network, Fox, or Amazon Prime Video. If you don't have a Prime Video subscription, you can also watch a stimulated cast of the game on Amazon-owned Twitch. So we should be able to possibly on Thursday Night Football be able to live stream it all.
That would be cool. Where did you see that?
I just Googled if you could live stream games, Thursday night games on Twitch.
Okay. So I'll check that out as well. Some cool things happening. Like I said, we do have right now we're at 3 subscribers. When we hit 10, I'm giving away this Justin Fields. Actually, let's put us back up to there. You go. It's a Justin Fields rookie card, XR blue. It's numbered out of 199. So they only made 199 of these cards. We'll ship that out to somebody once we reach that milestone. We do have some, and we'll have more information on this coming up. I had some hats made, some Pure Adrenaline hats. Shawn, I'll make sure you get one. I'll make sure Harold gets one as well. And I'll make sure we get you some before you go down to that charity softball game as well. Maybe give out some to the NFL guys that are going to be there. What else do we got going on?
Now that the season schedule is finally released, I think we could finally hopefully start seeing more signings. And then obviously next week we can start talking with the OTAs beginning finally with teams and obviously seeing what players show up and who holds out. Does Deebo Samuel show up? What happens with that scenario? And obviously a lot of new faces and new places and see what happens there.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be live. Well, I hope you're joining me on Sunday. We'll be back Sunday
I'll be there.
At noon.
I'll be here.
Maybe take a little bit, maybe go over some more of the games, highlight some of the games that we're ready for. We have gone over quarterbacks and running backs so far, our early projections. I do have wide receivers, tight ends, kickers, and defenses all done.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, about 70% comfortable where they're at. I'll adjust for some of the cold weather games here.
And now that the season's finally announced, you can see what kind of matchups might change with their bye weeks and everything. You'll be able to fill in all that and see how maybe momentum games or having a bye week early or something could affect the whole outcome of the season.
Yeah, that'll be the next thing I do. I'll put in all the bye weeks because right now on our list it's all from last year. So, Shawn, anything to add before we sign off tonight?
Just that hopefully everyone shows up on Sunday again, and we can all keep talking more schedule, free agency signings, and see what else comes about between now and Sunday with football news.
Yeah, and we'll keep putting that Yahoo link out there as well. I believe we got 5 teams signed up so far, so we'll fill that up. We'll keep going. I think you have it set up for 20. I don't know if
that's the most you can set up for. So obviously, if we hit 20, that might be the biggest league I've ever been a part of.
Rosters would be pretty thin.
Rosters would be thin, and you when your quarterback has a bye, you might be rolling with a bye week.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll do that. We'll set that up. Maybe we'll set up Pick'em League. Maybe we can do that as well. We're on a week-to-week basis. You pick all the winners. We'll look into that as well. But yeah, some cool things coming. I'm really excited for you to go to that softball game. It'll be interesting to see.
The photos and everything I'll be able to share with everybody and see what comes about it. Obviously, we don't know what could happen, and how it can happen. Obviously, hopefully for good weather, because I'm sure if it rains or something, it would probably end up being canceled. I doubt they're going to have a outdoor game with football players,
right?
Possibly concerning with injury. It's obviously going to be kind of one of those goofball kind of games, I bet, but it's all for fun, and the money goes towards the foundation. So I'm always willing to pay for something that goes to a cause.
Right, agreed. It'll be interesting to see. I just learned that they're having a home run derby before the game, so that'll be pretty cool to check out.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. I'll have to take videos and everything and share with everybody that following Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for interacting in the chat. Make sure you hit that follow button, and we will be back Sunday at noon Eastern time. You can always follow us over on Twitter if you're there at PA Fantasy Sports. I'm working on updating our Instagram as well, so I'll have more information on that coming hopefully by Sunday. But thank you, everybody, once again, and we'll see you Sunday.
See you Sunday, guys. Have a good one.